What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Chaos Reigns Gaming Channel, and today I'm actually going to be discussing how to get all 4 bows in Eisendrache. I know people have already came out with a bunch of videos about this, however it is 2024, and I want to try to help those casual players as much as I can, try to get those bows. So if you are trying to either go for the Easter egg or you're just wanting to have a casual game with friends, all the bows are going to be here in one link. However, I have done a challenge like this of trying to get all 4 bows in one game, which honestly I did that as well in this game here, as you can see. But I wanted to give a more in-depth guide about it. So if you guys do enjoy, please make sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and jumping right into it. The first step that you need to do is, first you need to get the power on. That's going to be the quickest and easiest thing to do first. But with that being said, when you do get the power on, one of the things you'll notice around the map are 3 giant dragon heads that are made out of stone. There is one that is in like the courtyard, one inside the church, and one inside the undercroft. From there, what you need to do is that you're going to need to kill a bunch of zombies, and they are similar to the hellhound heads that are in Mob of the Dead. So you are going to need to feed them zombie souls in order for them to basically breathe fire and then crumble to the ground. That being said, it takes about, like, I think 6 to 8 zombies in order to fill each head. I could be wrong. I will let you know the number for sure down in the description or in the edits that you'll see that I'll make. From there then, after you get all 3 dragon heads filled, you will then need to go by the grave of the knight that is down close to the undercroft, and you can grab the Wrath of the Ancients. The Wrath of the Ancients is actually a really fun wonder weapon, and I actually really do enjoy it. It is not my favorite wonder weapon, but it definitely fits the aesthetic of the map. Now, with that being said, I am going to go in a very different order, which is some of the harder bows to get compared to some of the easier bows to get. So, with that being said, I am going to start with the Void Bow, because I actually enjoy the Void Bow a lot with its process. First, you'll need to grab the arrow that is over nearby the courtyard area. You'll look over on the top and you'll see a purple image of a skull with like a portal kind of swirling around it. You shoot it with your bow, and from there it dislodges the broken arrow. With that being said, once you pick it up, you have to complete it to the end for every single arrow, this one in particular. So you'll hear a demon voice that'll say, "Release me." And you're thinking to yourself, well, what does that mean? If you go into where the main courtyard is of the castle, like before you go into like the church kind of like outpost, you will see that there is a glowing stone tablet that is on the ground. What that means is basically that there is the urn that is trapped underneath there. How you do that is basically you have to melee a zombie over that purple marked spot. For there, the stone will bust open and a giant purple light will come through, and inside you will interact with the urn. From there, the demon voice will say, "Return that which is scattered." Now, with returning that which is scattered refers to the keeper heads that will be around the map. There are 6 different keeper heads that you'll need to get. There is one over by Mule Kick, there is one over by Double Tap, there is one over by a chest in Samantha's room, there is one that is on a ledge that is over by the church, there is one in the sink by the teleporter, and after you teleport, there is one over by the truck near the back end on the left side of the rocket. Now that those are all completed, you must go back to the urn, and the urn will say, "The broken souls must be sacrificed in my honor." And what that means is that for those 6 keeper heads, you need to make sure you have 6 crawlers on you. There are a couple of ways that you can do this. If you are in the higher rounds, the bow can make crawlers, which is awesome. However, you then have to progress really high into the rounds. If you're trying to do it earlier rounds like I did, make sure you do not have Widow's Wine, because the grenades can actually make crawlers at around round 5, 6, or 7, one of those 2 rounds. But with that being said, it will create crawlers, which then the keeper heads can absorb. But if you don't want to do it that way, you can equip a gobblegum called Crawl Space, which will allow you to basically get crawlers as quickly as you can. But I prefer the grenade method since there are so many other gobblegums you can use. From there then, after you do the crawlers, it will say 3 different things, whether it be griffin, stag, horn, crown, door, heart, and I think those are all of them. I will double check for sure. But basically, they refer to the knight statues that are over by power because you are going to gather different symbols. In this game, I got heart, griffin, door. So what does that mean? Well, you go to the knight statues and you will basically see each of them have their own little symbols. You will click on those ones, it will give you the apothecary symbol that you need in order for the name to be spelt. And for me, it was triple up claw, triple triangle, and a human person. There are different ways you can describe them. That's up to your discretion. From there then, what you need to do is you need to kill an abundance of zombies. You can use the bow. I've also done it with a normal gun to get the symbols, but use the bow for safety. Once you collect those 3 symbols, you're going to go back into the urn room where you have it kind of floating in the air, and it will ask, what is my name? From there, then, you're going to spell the name with those symbols that you took. So, like I said, mine was heart, griffin, door, and I spelled it correctly, which means that the keeper heads will swirl around the urn, breaking the urn, showing down a purple light in the middle. If you get it wrong, the keeper heads will swirl around the room and can actually kill you. So, keep in mind that this is going to be one of the hardest steps. So I'd recommend throwing subtitles on, just to help you out. But with that being said, once you get the reforged arrow, go back into the Undercroft, and from there then you can basically get your reforged arrow and fill up with souls to get you the void bow. So that's one of the harder ones. The next hardest one as well is the fire bow. The fire bow all starts by first shooting with your bow a fireball symbol on the top of the clock tower. From there then, what you'll do is you'll grab the broken arrow and you'll head to the rocket pad test site. With that test site, you need to make sure that the rocket goes off. And of course you can do this through the Easter egg, which can get you a free rocket test, or you can do it with the moon pool activation. It is completely up to you, or you can just sit and wait. You'll let the rocket test go through. Once it says test complete, the doors will open and you'll see on the right hand side a lava rock formation with a glowing orb. You're going to want to shoot at the brightest point that is there because it will be easier to get the fire orb to fly out, or I call it like the sun, will fly out, and from there go to the top of the castle. Now, with that being said, that is your first step for it. The second step is you have to take the launch pads and you'll see these little glowing circles that are on the ground. You need to use the launch pads and fire an arrow into those circles in order for them to basically activate a fire circle challenge where you can get zombie souls to fill up. You can activate all 3 circles and then go back and kill all the zombies in them, or you can do it one at a time. It is up to your discretion. However, I do it where I get all the circles lit, so that way then I can just go right through them all with the zombie kills, and I can flip around. With that being said, there are 3 of those. You have to kill, I would say, probably about like 10 to 15, maybe 20 zombies most, and then you can go on to the next one. Like I said, there are 3 of them, so you're definitely going to need to pass through some rounds, or definitely keep some zombies available. Now it gets to the tricky part, which is you go back to the clock tower and you set the clock. The clock will have a specific symbol on it, and these symbols correlate to 3 different fireplaces that are around. One is in the church, one is in Samantha's room, and one is in the little outpost tower that is right nearby. With the clock being set, then you will find which symbol you need to get through the fireplace, and then you will see the ring. The ring is going to be the trickiest part because you only have 3 shots before you go back, and you have to redo it again. And that will cost you an entire round if you fail it. So, with that being said, strategize on how you want to do it. I've done it where it gets close to the door. I've gotten it close to where it gets you to the other side of the ledge because mine actually ended up over in the fireplace over in the church. So, I did mine where I shot it over to the other ledge. From there, then, I brought it down to the ground where the labs were and then shot it into the fireplace. Each area has its own specific thing, so I would use caution and discretion as much as you can. but you have to make sure you stay inside that fire pitted area when you use the bow. So I would be cautious when you're using the bow, whether it is you keep a zombie or you flip the round beforehand before you start doing that circle. It is up to you. From there, then you get into the right fireplace, and the fire will be glowing red with a max ammo. Stick your arrow into there, then go back to where the sun was. You'll interact with the sun, it'll absorb some of the rock and explode, and you'll get your reforged arrow. You fill it up, and that is your fire bow done. Next, we're going to get to the easier bows. The lightning bow is pretty simple. You first hit the wind vein that is up there to unlock the bow, like the reforged arrow. From there, then, what you are going to do is that there are 3 different wooden piles that are outside of the map that you need to hit. There is one closest to the clock tower that's over on the right where the launch pad is, and that one's pretty simple to hit. The other one is over by the rocket test site, which is easier if you make the long range shot, as you see in the video. The third one, there are 2 different methods that you can do. There is one when you're filling the urn, which is you kind of aim it directly towards the other site, and you kind of shoot it over the wired fence. However, there is a simpler trick that I have found out, which is if you aim towards the mountainside, and you'll see it in the video. Basically, if you shoot a lobbed arrow shot, it will actually activate the urn or the pile, and you are all set, and you can go on to the next stage, and it's a time saver in my opinion if you can get that shot correct. Secondly, you are then going to go into the undercroft, and you're going to activate 4 panels on the ground. From there, what's going to happen is that it's going to be like a moon room or a low grav room, and basically you're going to run onto the walls, and you'll see these little panels on the side that you can hit when you're running. You have to be running at all times on the wall, so that way, because if you drop, it will reset. You're going to hit all of those 5 or 6 panels that are on the wall, and then it will activate to the next step, which is you will notice that there are electrified urns in the tower, over by the teleporter in the rocket test site, and over in the small little outpost above the double tap. You will need to get 5 or 6 zombie souls to fill up these urns. And what happens is that they're going to get electrified. So when you pull back on a full force on your arrow, you will notice that it has some electricity to it, which is fine. Those same wooden piles, you're going to shoot again with the electricity. The easiest way that I would say to do it is the clock tower will go to the closest pile, so that'll be easy. The one that's over by double tap will go to the long range one that you'll have to shoot over by the KRM wall by, which is an easier one there, and then the one at the rocket test site will get the one where you lobbed the arrow outside the window. It will be easiest that way. However, once those 3 are done, you're going to go back to the wind vein, you're going to place your broken arrow in there, it will reforge it, go back to the undercroft, and from there then you have the reforged lightning arrow. Now finally, the wolf bow, which has the most story, I believe, with it. There are going to be 4 paintings that you're going to interact around the castle, and their 4 paintings are in the same spot, they'll just be different paintings every single time. The first one that I found was over in the top of the church. The second one I found was either at the top or the bottom of the clock tower. The third one was over close by Samantha's room. It'll be to the right hand side when you're coming out of Samantha's room, and you'll see it. And then the 4th one will also again be either at the top or the bottom of the clock tower. Once you get all those 4 in order, where it is the king first, then he rides into battle, you see the apothecon trying to take it, and then you see the wolf king is dead. From there, go back to the undercroft stairs where you go to get the bow. On your left, there will be, out of the wall will come the broken arrow of the wolf bow. Now, this is where you need the teleporter to come in. You can teleport or you can launch pad down, but you will notice a red flag that is over on the top when you come out, like going onto the rocket. You'll see it towards the left. From there, what you'll do is you'll take a charge shot from the bow to shoot it, for there will be a wolf skull that will come out of it. With that wolf skull, you'll need to go back to the undercroft, and you'll see over by where you put the arrows in that there is a missing skull for one of the wolves. From there, you will place it on there, and a ghost wolf will appear. You will need to follow it to 3 different spots. One is in the main courtyard, the other one is over by the car near double tap, and the 3rd one is in the undercroft. And you will get one of the bone, or I think it's like an arm bone or something. Definitely you're going to get the sternum, and then you're going to get the cranium or the skull. And basically from there, once you fill up those with zombie souls as well and you pick them up, the wolf will run to the gravesite that is up above where, like if you're looking at Pack-a-Punch, it'll be up to the right a little bit, and you'll see that there's an open cavern. You will need to wait for the low grav to appear. From there, you will run on the walls and you will shoot inside the gravesite or shoot the wolf symbol. It's one of those two, but I would definitely double make your shots and stay on the wall as much as you can. For them, when you do so correctly, a floating platform will appear for you to stand on, and then you can interact with the gravesite. From there, the bones will reforge, noticing that it is the Wolf King's bones, and he will hand you the reforged arrow of the wolf bow. From there, then, you can put the wolf bow back inside of the little arrow kind of like slot, fill it up with souls, and then you will get your wolf bow. Now, each of them have their own different attacks. Lightning creates a firestorm when fully charged. The wolf will basically make somebody disappear, and the void will basically make other keeper skulls like a portal open up and slay the zombies that way. And the fire one will create mini volcanoes, so that way then it holds them in place and you basically kill them faster. So, but that is all of the bows. If you guys do have any questions, leave them down in the comments down below. I do appreciate it. I hope you guys do enjoy this video. If you thought this was helpful, please make sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you can join the Chaos Army. And until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, take care, and love y'all.